Did the Industrial Revolution cause towns and cities to go medieval on pollution? Did London's shit lane exist in the Middle Ages or Victorian London? How did... Oh, this pollution is so bad. I'm choking here. Oh, I hate this time travel. Oh, these and other questions will be answered right after right after this. I'm Professor Jerome Markenberg, and oh gosh, look, you can hardly see me. Oh, I've turned yellowish just like the pollution in these cities. Isn't the trouble with time traveling? You have to go back to a horrible place like this 19th century London. I've been teaching a wide variety of history courses at colleges across this country for the past 30 years. How I ever survived this revolution, this industrial revolution, I'll never know. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the Industrial Revolution and urban pollution. Patterns of living. Oh my God, this place smells atrociously. I think 500,000 people died. Patterns of living and how houses turned into the modern home. At the end, I'll have the wrap-up quote on this video, so make sure to stick around for it. But first, make sure to click like, share, and especially subscribe. Hopefully you can help. I'll bring you more great videos like this one. Hopefully you'll help me get out of this terrible polluted town. Make sure to click on that little bell thingy so you know when the next History Waits for No One video is available. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. Oh, this is horribly smelly. While there is no denying the incredible pollution of the industrial city, due to the sheer bulk of waste produced by factories, along with garbage produced by an exploding urban population, it was simply part of the normative nature of pre-industrial society. For pre-industrial towns, dominated by church spires instead of factory chimneys, were as sooty, smoky, and polluted as any industrial town, as clean air was and always is a problem for both rich and poor in all pre-industrial societies. Cities and towns usually had a perpetual pall of black smoke hanging over them from all the heating, cooking, forges, and smithy fires constantly burning in all homes and workshops. Clean water, too, was and is a problem for every pre-industrial society, which is why most people drank some form of alcohol on a daily basis. The alcohol also, by the way, helped them get through a really tough, difficult, crappy life. For cesspits, slaughterhouses, tanneries, flax mills, family dung heaps, and other sources all poured pollution into the water supply, especially when it rained, not just for those in the immediate vicinity, but for all those living downstream too. Waste and garbage were commonly dumped directly in gutterless streets, where it would attract rats, vermin, and other scavengers until it was swept into local water sources by rain, or in some areas by melting snow. But there was no street cleaning until the 16th century, and then only in the largest cities. But the first half of the 19th century saw revolutionary developments in urban water supply. In 1825, the introduction of cast iron pipes first permitted deep wells to be sunk beneath contaminated surface water. And new types of streets were built, with convex profiles, which naturally collected refuse and gutters, which could be flushed out easily, along with sidewalks for pedestrians and, for the first time, daily street cleaning. Pre-industrial houses were dens of fetid smells, with ever-present soot and smoke from constantly burning home fires, piles of dung waiting to be used as fertilizer right outside the front door, or in cesspits beneath kitchen floorboards. You heard me, cesspits beneath kitchen floorboards. Ugh. And parasites and rodents everywhere. So there is little evidence of the poor demanding better living conditions in the industrial cities until the mid-19th century. And even then, only because their consciousness had been raised by middle-class do-gooders horrified at atrocious living conditions, because in pre-industrial cities, the homes of the rich and powerful fronted the main square so they could fully participate in urban life and politics, while the poor lived further out, yet both mixed daily and knew how each other lived. For example, in medieval Amiens in France, the thicker the line, the wealthier the population. But of course, everyone had to mix constantly. This is an old medieval inn. The industrial city, though, by the 19th century turned this pattern on its head, as the newly rich moved to the suburbs, leaving their old houses behind as warehouses, factories, and housing for workers who needed to live near their jobs in an era before effective public or personal transport. Because if you remember from another video, if you were locked out, if you were late to work and were locked out, no money for you that day. And in fact, you probably, in many cases, you might have no job at all. And the advances and cheaper costs stemming from the Industrial Revolution suddenly meant a real qualitative difference between the living conditions of the rich and the poor. Yet, the lowering of cost led to greater availability of home furnishings of all kinds and better conditions within homes, which now had plastered walls, hardwood floors, glass windows, rugs, carpets, even wallpaper and pictures on the walls. And this could be seen in paintings of the time of various worker cottages. Look at the furnishings, the walls, in a worker cottage in London about 1830. And then look at it in about 1866. And then 1886, and compare that with what it was in 1770, before the Industrial Revolution even started. The walls, everything is just bare. Increasingly, we have more stuff, and then, oh my gosh, look at all this. You even have stuff on the walls, probably not real paintings, but lithographs. And here, oh my goodness, this is worker cottage. This is a world away in 100 years from what this was. People now spent more time in the home, which caused greater demand for better furniture and furnishings, knickknacks, oil and gas lamps, even spring mattress beds and, dare we say it, indoor plumbing. And again, these are the homes of the middle class, and look how much better it is. So the house began to change from originally just a shelter against the elements to a home in which to take pleasure in spending time. And all this spurred more demand, more growth, more spending, more jobs. The wrap-up quote. The pollution. Oh my God. 30 or 40 factories rise in the tops of the hills. Their 6 stories tower up. Their huge enclosures give notice from afar of the centralization of industry. The wretched dwellings of the poor are scattered haphazard around them. The roads which connect the still disjointed limbs of the great city show, like the rest, every sign of hurried or unfinished work. Some of these roads are paved, but most of them are full of ruts and puddles, into which foot or carriage wheel sinks deep. Heaps of dung, rubble from buildings, putrid, stagnant pools are found here and there among the houses and over the bumpy, pitted surfaces of the public places. Look up, and all around this place you will see the huge palaces of industry. You will hear the noise of furnaces, the whistle of steam. These vast structures keep air and light out of the human habitations which they dominate. They envelop them in perpetual fog. A black smoke covers the city. The sun seen through it is a disk without rays. Under this half-daylight, 300,000 human beings are ceaselessly at work. 1,000 noises disturb this damp, dark labyrinth, but they are not all the ordinary sounds one hears in great cities. Alexis de Tocqueville, 1835. Let me know what you think of this quote in the comment section below. Also, how can I get rid of this horrible pollution-caused cough? Also, what you liked about this video, and what other historical topics or subjects you'd like to see in future videos. Be sure to click like, share, and especially subscribe, as it will help me bring you more great videos just like this one, and hopefully get out of this polluted city. And click on that little bell thingy, so you know when the next History Waits for No One video is posted. If you want to know more, there are recommended studies on this topic in the description below, along with other ways to connect with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the past.